We gotta talk about this shit, man. Such a disappointing, frustrating way to end the season. A very fun season too. Um, just so fitting. Like Brunson, of course, fractures his hand, can't play in the fourth quarter. An exciting, fun season ends in just like the most not heartbreaking, just most devastating way. Like the Knicks were up as many as 3 in this game, and our only lead was in that first quarter. Like we were playing from behind this entire game at home. We were down at least 20 points. You're not going to win a game. It's going to be very hard to win a playoff game. Game 7 when you allow 39 points in the first quarter. 39 points in the first quarter. Our rotations are still so fucking trash, man. No adjustments. McBride overhelping, leaving Halliburton wide open. We can't inbound the fucking basketball. It truly looked like they wanted it more than us. Because, yeah, if we went out losing by 2 points, okay. Like, we fought, we competed. But the Knicks team we saw today is not the Knicks team we know. That's not the Knicks team we know. We got blown out back-to-back times. Like, I at least wanted it to be competitive. When we did make it a competitive game, mental errors, man. Mental errors. McBride forces pass turnover, leading to a bucket. Brunson, turnover, leading to a bucket. McBride inbounding the basketball, turns it over. Just we get a violation. Hartenstein turns it over off of the inbounds. I'm so disappointed in Hartenstein. I am so disappointed in Isaiah Hartenstein. This was his freaking game that he had to step up big time. He struggled just at all-time level last game. He had 7 rebounds. He was getting bitched on the glass. He was backpedaling. He was getting dunked on. He had 3 shot attempts. He was even worse offensively today. He had 0 points. Isaiah Hartenstein had 0 points. Usually his passing, usually his floaters can make up for if he's having a struggling game defensively, but he just sucked overall tonight. If you're going to foul someone off of a stupid turnover, just foul him hard, make him earn it at the line. No, he was soft. He was soft tonight. This team was not prepared outside of like 2 minutes into this game when OG hit a 3 and hit a crazy shot in the corner, and he didn't play in the second half. Shout out to OG for toughening it up. I'm sure he was injected with freaking drugs, and they're like, go out there and play, you know. But he wasn't moving well after getting a couple buckets. He didn't look even 60%. So shout out to OG Anunoby for playing in a game 7. Shout out to Josh Hart. I know he didn't have a great night and he fouled out, but this dude's been a warrior all season long. All season long. He didn't have to play today. He didn't have to play. No, he fucking played because he cares. I know he missed some shots on the perimeter, but he still played like he gave a shit. But this, like, I'm going to say this. We're going to be getting into more players. I'll give 2 players credit today. Shout out to Alec Burks. When he was out there, when his number was called, when he was called to go to the scores table, this man was ready every single fucking game after being terrible in the regular season. Shout out to Alec Burks for being ready. Dante DiVincenzo, I feel bad for him this series. I know he had a couple games that he struggled this series, but game 3, dude has a freaking masterclass, and we lose. This time around, we lose, except it wasn't even competitive this time. Again, like we were down 20 at one point. We were down 15 at half, whatever it was. So I'm like, all right, we can still fight and get into this. Like we get off to this good start in the third quarter. You know, we cut it down to 7, but again, stupid turnovers. Like I'm sure we didn't have a crazy amount of turnovers, but the context of the turnovers, like they were bad. And Brunson's assists, in my opinion, were misleading. There's a lot of times I thought he was dominating the ball and he was forcing some difficult shots. And I want to say this, because I try to be as unbiased as possible. When Andrew Nemhard was on Jalen Brunson this series, it was barbecue chicken, right? And I understand Jalen Brunson got a lot of buckets on Aaron Naismith when it came to, what was that, game 4 when he had 44 points. So he did have some tough buckets, but also at the same time, he was in foul trouble in that game. So Nemhard was defending him a lot of possessions. When Naismith isn't in foul trouble, like they're in a good position because, yeah, Brunson's still going to score in double digits, but he makes it tough. And I hate giving credit to the other team, but you have to give credit. Like they found at least somewhat of an answer to make Brunson uncomfortable. McConnell put pressure on him. McBride, he steps up 2 games in a row. You waste them. He doesn't step up today. Shout out to DiVincenzo. I'm proud. I'm going to be getting to the comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm proud of DiVincenzo. His growth, his development this season has been unbelievable. He was so inconsistent Golden State. Kings fans didn't want anything to do with him. He got injured in that run with the Bucks. DiVincenzo's a keeper, man. DiVincenzo is a fucking keeper. That dude is a dog. He tries to get under guys' skin. I know his defense was inconsistent, but you can say everyone's defense was inconsistent. You got to give credit to Dante DiVincenzo. But man, Hartenstein again, soft as shit. OG, can't say much. Dude was probably 30%. Was probably 30% out there if we're being real. He was probably 30%. Like the way he was moving defensively, he couldn't move like at all. But Brunson, getting more into Brunson, you're the 1A. I understand you're not fully healthy with your foot. He went on to, of course, fracture his hand, so prayers out to Brunson for that. He's going to need surgery probably or wait for it to recover, need a cast. Just the most fitting way to end the season. You know, every player in their starting lineup, like, gone. Like, when it came to that fourth quarter. But Brunson, I thought he was going to light it up. I thought he was going to be amazing. He hit his first couple shots, but nope. After that, just disaster. Just a disaster. I'm so disappointed. Like he's still a dog to me, and I feel like he is a winner. He really gives a shit. But tonight he was rough, man. He was trying to do too much. It was all over the place. But think about this: Jalen Brunson, starter, wasn't there in the fourth quarter, hurt. You know, Quentin Grimes started the season not with the team. RJ Barrett not with the team started the season and wasn't there in the fourth quarter. Of course, Julius Randle not with the team or wasn't out there on the floor, hurt. Mitchell Robinson, like our whole starting lineup to start the season wasn't even there. Like in that fourth quarter. It's just nuts. It is just nuts. But the perimeter defense so bad. Like the perimeter defense is a joke. I don't know how we keep making the same mistake over and over. How many times are we going to leave the corner open? Just everyone on the Pacers bitched us. When I saw Nemhard getting buckets like automatic from mid-range, I'm like, just gosh, I'm proud of this team for overcoming all this adversity with these injuries, but we finish it out like that. You get killed in Indiana, and then you get killed on your own home floor. I appreciate the effort and the comeback, but come on, you have to be more prepared in the game 7. You have to be way more prepared. Just, it sucks. Maybe things would have been different with Randall. We don't know. I know there's been an inconsistency in the playoffs. I do think we would have beat this team if healthy, but the reality is we weren't healthy. That's just the reality. And you could say like we're the better team, but we're not. We weren't healthy. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Knicks need to make some. We're gonna need to get some damn depth. I was talking about before, like not paying Burks. You probably have to pay Burks. Like the Knicks are probably gonna bring Burks back now after seeing what he did in the playoffs. And Tibbs is gonna be like, yeah, I should probably use Burks. I know what we were 1-2 when he got actual minutes, but he was very important in that one win at the Garden, and he was getting buckets for off the bench, and just McBride just couldn't inbound the ball. But I've said it before in a previous live stream, and I've said it on Twitter. The Knicks are the worst inbounding team in basketball. Like, are we like we're literally like we can't cut to get open. Like, do we not practice inbounding the basketball? And I do not like Doris Burke. But if you watch that game with that terrible commentary with Doris Burke and whoever else it was, our last regular season game this season versus Chicago, I hated her screaming it. But what did she point out? The Knicks have issues inbounding the basketball. They have issues. Like, get someone help Brunson cut, get open, demand the ball, go to the ball. But we definitely need a bench. We need more scoring. But again, Randall hurt, Bogdanovich hurt. But Deuce played very well the last couple games, but he was starting as well. Deuce played this series. He only played well when he started those couple games. Outside of that, he was trash this series. Just trash. But the Knicks came out of this series. All right, we figured out Obi this game. Didn't figure out McConnell's mid-range at all. For him being, I think he's over 30 or 30 years old, he's fast as shit, gets that mid-range, and I hate that motherfucker killing us, but he's been a class act in post games. Like, he's a dog. I have a lot of respect for McConnell. Um, Halliburton, we can call him a front runner and all that shit. Um, I know we left him open for some threes, but he had difficult mid range. He did what he was supposed to do today. He did what he was supposed to do. Um, but the perimeter defense, just like we can't rotate, we can't do shit. Like, it seemed like we didn't even understand the third personnel. And I understand we have injuries, but anyone that has truly watched this Knicks team, like this type of effort, like, yeah, you give us that effort in the third quarter, but you're supposed to be giving consistent effort for 48 minutes in a game 7. In a freaking game 7. Like, that's how you perform in a game 7? Again, shout out to Dante and Burks. Besides that, like, F everyone just for today. Obviously, I appreciate what Brunson did this season. Brunson had an MVP caliber season, all-star, awesome. So much credit for Brunson. We wouldn't have been in this position without Brunson. He struggled today, but we wouldn't have been in this position. With Randall hurt, with OG hurt, like, again, today you could I guess you could attack him and criticize him, but with Randall going down, with Mitch going down, with OG going down, all those injuries, we're a trash ass team without Brunson. Let's not forget, he carried this team. There's some moments in the playoffs that you want to see him give up the ball, but him being one of our only shot creators in the offense definitely doesn't help. I still believe in Brunson, but the Knicks just they weren't smart. Someone said Mitch is injury prone. He is injury prone, but just taking away, like, after watching those playoffs, guys, like, how much money you're giving Hartenstein? Because we have no center outside of Mitch, who's injury prone. I love Mitch, but he's injury prone. Like, Mitch and Hartenstein are our centers. Like, how much are you paying Hartenstein? And I'm very disappointed, like, the way like, Hartenstein struggled in the Philly series. Like, he got offensive rebounds in both of these series, but defensively, he was terrible. He was so inconsistent. Like, Embiid, okay, MVP, even when hurt, still unbelievable. And credit to Miles Turner, but Miles Turner isn't physical. Like, you are supposed to be more physical with Miles Turner. In my opinion, Hartenstein got bitched this series. The way he played defensively was just terrible. It was just terrible. Out of position, backpedaling, not bodying up with his man. And this offense is so freaking predictable. But again, we'll see, like, when healthy. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, Hornstein sucked. He had 0 points. We can get into the box. I'm scared to look at the box score. And I'd even get into all of it. So, by the way, so the defense was trash, but they were hitting some ridiculous shots as well. So the Pacers started off this game shooting 24 of 30 from the field. 24 from 30. No, yeah, you heard that right. 24 for 30. The Pacers shot from the field. I'm sorry if I said Knicks. They have what? They have like 70 points at halftime, over 70 points. You allow the team to score 39 points in the first quarter at your home arena. At your home arena, you take pride in playing defense. The defense sucked. The interior defense, the perimeter defense, mid range, guarding screens, not knowing when to go under, not knowing when to go over, edging. They just sucked. They just sucked. Outside of maybe 5 minutes into that third quarter, because I thought we had a good start to the defense in that third quarter. Outside of that, just garbage. Stupid turnovers brought that up, but the Knicks lose 130 to 109. You heard that right. 130 points we allow in a game 7. Brunson gets hurt. OG doesn't play in the second half. McBride struggles. Literally, we were running our offense through Burks. That's how desperate we were. Dante was carrying our offense. Precious sucked. I'm not bringing Precious back. We need to find a difference. Precious he doesn't have an offensive bone in his body, and he hasn't been it defensively. I liked him in the regular season, but just we need more offense off the bench. Maybe like Bogdanovich stays. I think he has one more year with us, but I'm not bringing Precious back. The only way I see him getting brought back is on a very cheap deal. But the Knicks have a lot of questions they have to answer. You know, you trade quickly, you trade RJ for OG Anunoby. You have this ridiculous 26-4 record, whatever it is with him, but he doesn't play a lot of games. He doesn't play a lot of games. Like, you need to get a bench, and someone on the coaching staff needs to be like, Tibbs, you're playing the freaking bench. But again, I'm sure Bulls fans, Timberwolves fans have said that. have said that before, but this is just how Tibbs is. But if there's a season to blame Tibbs, I don't think this is the season because, in my opinion, Leon Rose should be held accountable more. And I understand Tibbs has a say. OG, his style of play is literally what Tibbs likes. He tried to make RJ kind of what OG style of play is: stay in the corner, shoot threes. We're gonna try to make you a defender. So that's probably one of the main reasons he got OG because um that's his type of player. But he can't stay healthy consistently. But you're gonna have to pay him, just not the max, obviously, because you can't trade quickly in RJ and just let OG walk. But anyway, what I was saying, sorry, got off track. When you traded for OG, you gave up some depth. Also, at the same time, you could say quickly wasn't really stepping up in the playoffs either. But the Knicks need to address the bench. They have to. We need to get another scorer. Um, I would say we need to change some things offensively, but I feel this is just like the offense is going to be run through Brunson. Like this is a Brunson run team. Isaiah says, "Let's go Celtics." Sorry about the loss. No, I was hoping for a Knicks Celtics series. Y'all be back next season. I appreciate the classy comment, man. Appreciate you being here. Precious is at it. I think Precious is gone, man. It was still a great season, but man, you're one win away from the conference finals. Yeah, OG and Hart were just shot up with drugs before this game. I really think so. They were not okay. I'm sure they're freaking just killed right now. Like OG just did not look okay. Shout out to OG for even playing. Like shout out to him for even playing. Um, but anyway, let me get back to like the injuries. Like Leon Rose should be held accountable more for maybe not addressing. Or wait, he did address the bench. I'm sorry. We got Bogdanovich. We got Burks, but Bogdanovich got hurt. See, I'm just all over the place right now. But guys, we were one win away from the Eastern Conference Finals, man. One win away. And this time, in game 6, Brunson went off, we lost. But this time, I've mentioned before, so when I saw the Knicks in the playoffs, there's a freaking fly in here. When I saw the Knicks in the playoffs the first time, we made it to the second round versus the Pacers, when Roy Hibbert blocked Melo, we were behind in that series. We were behind, in the Heat series, we were behind. This was the first time I saw the Knicks, and at least lately for all of us, that we've seen our team ahead in the second round. But no, we didn't execute. We were up 2-0. We didn't execute. Pacers just dominated us the rest of the series. They had 3 blowouts against us. 3. Because last game. Wait, no. Yeah, am I correct with this? So game 7, last game. And then what? Game 4? That was game 4, right? Yeah, because we bounced back game 5. Yeah, and then they blew. Like, that's just unacceptable. Again, I know we're hurt. We're probably fatigued. But, man, like you got to be better defensively. Like, the offense, Brunson struggled. But just seeing how bad the defense was, like, what they shoot in the first half, 70%. It felt like that. Tell me if I'm missing anything, guys. To be honest, I'd rather us lose, to be honest, and play Boston and get shot at. To be honest, I'd rather see us lose. Yeah, we were gonna lose to Boston anyway, but I kinda just wanted that feeling of being there though, man? I kinda just wanted that feeling. I know you could say, like, that's a low bar being set, but I just believe we're a good team. We got killed with injuries. Um, I just didn't think we played smart today, though. I thought we could have played a lot better, but the reality is we didn't. What's going on, man? What's going on, Mike? That's your name, right? If I remember correctly. Trying to call you by your real name. What's going on, Drew? Always much love to Drew, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. I really appreciate the support, by the way. I know I've been doing more live streams, but I got more into the live streams when I had school assignments. I passed my freshman year, so that's good. But I just thought it was right to start doing live streams because kind of the videos editing is more difficult with school going on, but school's not going on anymore. But I love hearing your guys' live reaction to the game. But Drew says, truth of the matter is, We weren't beating Boston without Randall and OG, so at least to me, making the Eastern Conference Finals would have been nice, but let's be real, I'm proud of this team, and I believe next season will be I'm proud of this team too. I had a video, I'm not gonna lie, when Randall got hurt and we had OG hurt during the time and Mitch wasn't close to 100%, not moving well. I said we're done. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we weren't getting out of the first round, or there was a shot we weren't going to. So for us to get out of the first round and go to 7 in the second round, I hate that we're here, that we're like, oh, we didn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but this. I hate that we're here, but it's just the reality. And even if OG didn't play this game, let's say we won game 7, game 1, he still probably wouldn't have looked okay. Like, we saw OG out there today. Like, you guys saw, like, when they replayed the way OG was moving, he did not look even 60, he looked 40%. And I guess we could talk offseason now. Are we trading those top 20 picks, top 30 picks in the draft? Are we trading them? What are we going to do? I still think we should make a move. McBride, Burks, Josh Hart, Bogdanovich, Mitch is a great bench. We're just hurt. Well, Mitch is hurt all the time. That's the unfortunate thing there. Bogdanovich, that was just the context of these injuries, guys. So let's take a look at them. Brunson fractures his hand. That has nothing to do with injuries, but I do think there's still a fatigue standpoint when it comes to these Tibbs minutes because obviously our bench is depleted. But fractured hand, Brunson, bad luck. Dante stays healthy throughout the series. There was a scare that he's going to hurt his hip. Hard obviously gets hurt. He gets hit in like the rib section, his abdominal. Julius Randle, say maybe he shouldn't have been out there. We could have this conversation, but he drove to the basket, hurt his shoulder. OG got hurt during warm-ups, I believe. Mitch, I don't know which play it was, but you could say it was one of the Embiid plays, and it got worse when he was trying to play in it. Bogdanovich dives on the floor for the ball, and just Batum and Bogdanovich going after a 50-50 ball, but he hurt his ankle or his foot, lower body injury. Just like, I understand there's a fatigue with these minutes, but just the context is just like a joke. Like, are you kidding me, man? And it's the Pacers that hurts even more. It's the fucking Pacers, dude. Man. Halliburton is struggling in the Garden all playoff series. They didn't win one game at the Garden this series. He cooks us. This whole team cooked us, man. I hate saying that, but they just outclassed us. Like, us injured or not, they outclassed us. Well, we had a 3-point lead for, 2 seconds? Dante, Josh Hart, Deuce, Burks, Hart, Ihart, Precious. Precious is definitely a bench guy. Might not even be on this team next year. We'll see. Burks, we know he's a bench guy. Deuce, we know he's a bench guy. Even though he played well when he started, just did terribly off the bench this series. Josh Hart, I do agree he's a bench guy, even though I thought he was unbelievable. Like, this is another year that Josh Hart had to play out of his comfort zone, and he's okay with that. We know he's a jack of all trades, do a little bit of everything player, but what happens last year? RJ wasn't stepping up game 1 and game 2. Josh Hart has to do more than he usually has to offensively. Randall wasn't 100%. Round 2, just like all these injuries and shit, like, Hart's asked to be in a role that he's not supposed to be in, but it's just unfortunate with the injuries. So I have so much respect for Josh. If you don't have respect for Josh Hart after this season, I don't know what to say. I have so much respect for Josh Hart, even more respect than last season. I had respect for him last season, but he was unbelievable. Tibbs did a good job running the starters into the ground. Burks could have played way. After seeing the way Burks played this series, definitely should have played more. Maybe he wouldn't have matched up as well versus Philly, but I understand where you're coming from. When it comes to the injuries, the context of the injuries, I don't think they're on Tibbs, but from a fatigue standpoint, getting worn down, I agree. But also with these injuries, he had no choice. But it is what it is. But we're gonna have to pay OG. Traded RJ and Quick. We can't just let him walk. That's a terrible job by Leon Rose if you let that happen. We have to make a decision when it comes to Mitchell Robinson. We have to make a decision when it comes to Isaiah Hartenstein. And I'm saying Mitch, he's not a free agent, but because he's hurt all the time. Um, are you looking to get another score in the starting lineup? Yeah, Hart's a bench player in my opinion. I love Hart, but he's a bench player. We'll see, Grant. Well, in the regular season, Brunson averaged 35 minutes per game. I don't know if you knew this, but Maxey averaged 37 minutes per game, but it was the playoffs. But also when you saw like the trade go down and we didn't have Quickly anymore and our depth wasn't as good, you saw the minutes increase when it came to the starters. What's going on? Oh my God, yes. So his name used to be Knicks will be 2024 champs, and it's sad seeing that name change. I know that's you, man. It says Knicks ran out of steam. Tibbs should have ran a 10-man rotation at the start of the postseason. 8-man rotations are way too tough to keep healthy. Teams play too quick, especially the Pacers. Sixers, you were able to get away with it because Embiid was hobbled, not close to 100%, or I'm not gonna say not close because he still had a 50-point game and had some 30-point games. But he likes to play in the half court. He likes to ISO. He likes to have that pick and pop and get to that mid ranger, get to the outside. So they played a lot more in the half court. Outside of Maxey, they were a pretty slow team. But the Pacers, they trust the pass a lot more. Respect Maxey. He's a great scoring guard, but Halliburton manipulates your defense more, even when he's not scoring. The way he passes the ball. Do I like Halliburton? No, he killed us. But at the end of the day, he was one of the best players on the floor, and the Knicks didn't have an answer for Siakam. I went this long without talking about Siakam. Oh, no answer, man. Just no answer. Felt like the same play they run over and over again, and he just thrives. Just no answer for Pascal Siakam. The first few games in the series, he was not that. He was kind of quiet, but he finished the season very strong. He looked like how he was in the Bucks series when he was cooking Bobby Portis. But again, Precious was trash. I could see what Raptors fans are saying now. I really liked Precious in the regular season. He had a couple good playoff games, but he doesn't have an offensive bone in his body. He looks super lost sometimes when it comes to screens, and I didn't like his body language tonight or today. Um, shit. Tibbs waited till OG got hurt to play Burks. Those are the facts. Tibbs does this, and it'll never change. Yeah, definitely put him in a I have no choice now scenario. I don't know, like, about the context of OG because obviously the hamstring. It's so hard to be like, is it on Tibbs because he's injured all the time, even when he was in Toronto. And when he came back and played big time minutes, he just came off of having the elbow injury. So he had his rest. So I don't know how you want to look at it. But I hate using this term, but man, is this franchise always like, or is shit always gonna result in like this is the most Knicks thing ever? Like, is every season always gonna like end like that? Like this the most like when is that fucking narrative gonna change? You're one win away, man. You had two chances. You had two chances, and we lose on our home floor. The end, like you look at the Cleveland Magic series, when how it was supposed to go, you could say like when you're talking about like home court advantage. So the Cavs win their first two games like at home, like the Magic win their games at home, and the Cavs close it out at home. New York didn't do that. Again, shout out to Burke, shout out to DiVincenzo. I thought we wasted another DiVincenzo game. Um, he's come. DiVincenzo has come to playing these elimination games. He has. Just unfortunately, Brunson didn't. He didn't play well. Not gonna say he didn't care, but he didn't play smart. Hart, I have respect for that guy no matter what. I know he missed some threes, but that dude just beat up. Like there was reports that like he would cough when he'd have to breathe. That's how it was how bad it is. His abdominal. No, do you think we'll trade for anyone this offseason? Will we trade for anyone? Well, Donovan Mitchell's the talk. I wonder. I'm not saying I want him. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. But the second round, was that enough to keep Donovan Mitchell? Garland really struggled offensively. Making it to the second round for the Cavs was that much enough to keep Mitchell. But I know there's gonna be the Mitchell talks. I know there's gonna be the Mikal Bridges talks. I do think we need more scoring, but I do believe in chemistry as well. Brunson choked, definitely didn't step up, but it mattered today. It's one of his worst playoff games. Hopefully, he's okay health wise. Unfortunately, obviously fractured his hand, didn't play in the fourth. Um, yeah, Burks fought the entire game, but we allow 130 points though in an elimination game. Like if we don't shoot well, okay, but man, for a team that takes pride in playing defense, we did not play defense today. Outside of like 6 minutes of solid defense in the third, besides that, it was garbage. It just felt like an automatic bucket. Did they hit some tough shots? Yes, but our rotations were trash, and they had more energy. They really wanted it more. I wouldn't trade anyone but Precious. He definitely tried to do too much. You could say that's how it is though with these injuries, but I thought one of my problems with this series is there was a lot of problems. I don't know if we won the rebounding battle, probably didn't. But I felt like when the Pacers they won their games, I feel like everyone was kind of more on the same page. Everyone had good games at the same time. Like how many times have we seen like Dante have like a very good like yeah, he was pretty good for all 4 quarters and scored the ball well through 4 quarters. But how many times have we seen Dante had like 3 shots in a row or get hot and then Brunson or someone else takes a shot when they just shouldn't be because they don't have the hot hand and it's not a good look. Like there needs to be a more even shot distribution. Like what Jalen Brunson needs to work on this offseason is making better reads, being a better playmaker. He needs to work on that. He's someone that really takes care of the basketball in the regular season, but this postseason, I thought he had some bad turnovers. Maybe he didn't average a lot, but the context of them, some were really bad. Yeah, Precious can't shoot. I feel like they only allow him to shoot in the regular season, and that's not a good shooter. He's not a good free throw shooter. Says Precious had open threes. I can't shoot. If Randall was here, takes so much pressure off Brunson. Yeah, he's so much gravity. Dude, yeah, I hate that we lost the Pacers. Thank God we beat Philly though. As a Giants fan, always losing to the Eagles, that sucks. At least we're able to beat Philly, but losing to the Pacers sucks. It sucks. Especially because the first time I saw this team in the playoffs, we beat Boston. That was a great feeling, but then you lose to Indiana. And isn't it like the second time like Indiana's the younger team we lose to? Like that first time around, well, for me, first time around 2012-13, we were the older team, and then this time we're the older team again. Well, it's the Pacers playing the Celtics. It says no, who do you got against the Celtics? You're assuming obviously the Celtics winning. Um, I got the damn. I can't count out Jokic. I love Anthony Edwards. Real Street. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're trolling and you're a Pacers fan, the Pacers just outclassed us. They played better. I'm sure there might be some people trying to get a rise out of me, but the Knicks played like trash. It is what it is. It sucks. It really does suck. And when they were attempting comeback, we couldn't inbound the basketball. We weren't smart. We had stupid turnovers that led to some momentum for them. We ruined our momentum. Yeah, Knicks lack of ball movement. It's so inconsistent. Just the offense is just relying on dribble handoffs and Brunson go to score the basketball and an occasional like Hartenstein flash in the middle floater, dribble handoff to DiVincenzo, a cut back door. The offense is very predictable sometimes because that was the crazy thing that we would say about Brunson, that the defense knows like who's getting the ball and like where Brunson's gonna go, but you can't stop him. But they found a good enough answer. Dude, I made a video on him actually when we got his rights or when we drafted him, we have his rights. I don't know if he's ever coming to the league, but I actually have a video on him. I wasn't impressed with him when he was in the summer league. He's kind of a smooth player, nice finger roll. I haven't really followed what he's done overseas lately because I don't think we're getting him, but I've seen highlights of him. He's not very athletic, but he's kind of a smart passer. But do I think he's ever gonna have a roster spot here? Probably not. Brunson got to pass the ball more. I agree. I appreciate that, Drew. Yeah, because you could have like the best players in the world, like that are isolation players, but that doesn't mean you're always gonna win. Like, look at the Nets. Say some of the best isolation players. You have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. They don't get out of the second round. They lose to a Bucks team. Chris Middleton's isolation heavy. Giannis isn't ISO pull up. He's more of attack. But they had a well balanced with Drew Holiday. Like you need that superstar, but you also need those nice complementary players. You still need another shot creator. I believe you need two shot creators, but you need those complementary pieces. But yeah, the ISO ball is very irritating. You can't always win off of that. We even saw like Kyrie as a number one option when he was in Cleveland, or just in general when he wants it to be his team. I know, like he said, it wants to be his team, and then he had Durant, but it's hard for any guard to be a number one. That's why it's so impressive when Curry won that championship versus the Celtics. Oh, I think we're going to be a top four seed. It's just going to be, can we get out of the second round? Every year, Tibbs teams rank bottom in assists. I'm not sure what it was in Minnesota, but if it makes sense, like thinking the Chicago, Derrick Rose is a very ball dominant point guard. I know you had like Kirk Heinrich you could spray it out to, but man, just I'm thinking of Joakim Noah, and it was just so funny because I wasn't saying Hornstein was as good as Joakim Noah in the regular season, but Hornstein was just such a monster in some of these games defensively in the regular season. He was just not good defensively in the playoffs. Like I'm just extremely disappointed because at least he showed us a few games like the floater was going, but defensively he just got bitched. Like he played soft, and that's what pisses me off. Like I really don't think we played at our best. It was still impressive though. People thought Golden State was done that season. I think they're done now, but it's still impressive. Boston plays a lot of iso ball too. That's why I don't. But they have more star power than us. That's why they get farther, and I believe their defense is better in the postseason. But yeah, they rely on the three ball a lot, and I don't think they're winning a championship that way. But man, it was a really fun season, guys. This really was a fun season. It sucks it had to end this way, but it was a really fun season. Um, just amazing growth from so many players on this team. But we got killed with injuries. We weren't smart defensively today. Brunson wasn't good enough. He obviously got hurt, wasn't able to play in the fourth quarter. Shout out to OG for toughening it up and playing, even though he couldn't even freaking move out there. Still credit to him. Hart for playing. He didn't have to, but it's a game 7. He said, I'm fucking playing. But I'm sure those players are devastated. I'm sure they're really freaking sad in the locker room. Deuce on the bench was not good this series. He was good as a starter. The Philly series, I thought he was very good, but this series, trash. Off the bench. Now I'm looking at it as the postseason. Like that's 2 years in a row now. The Knicks make it to the playoffs, make it to the second round of the playoffs. To me, I wanted Eastern Conference Finals or see a series go to Game 7. And if it lose in heartbreaking fashion, that sucks. But at least that's some improvement. We were leading in the series, but I still had the mentality Eastern Conference Finals or bust when we went up 2-0. But that's really, really the mentality next year. You don't want to be like Philly like all these years, second round, second round, second round exit, like all these years. You don't want to be that team. We won 50 games. Knicks will make a big splash. What do you think that is? Brunson struggled, but there's few players in the league that can do what Brunson did this postseason, taking this team to the second round of the playoffs. I still have tons of respect for Brunson. He did not play good today. And I know what Becky Hammond meant, like taking a team to the finals as that small of a guard. But this is the worst team in basketball, like, one of the worst teams in basketball without Brunson. Like, without no Randall, without Mitch and all that. Yo, Mohammed, I appreciate you tuning in. Man, this team is good. The players define their roles for next season. Yeah, Dante. Do you guys think someone said Dante's a bench player? Do you think Dante solidified himself as a starter? If we get another creator, Dante could stay as well. Randall's a creator, but maybe another one at the, well, OG's gonna be our starter. Like if we don't trade Randall, yeah, we're probably running it back. But I agree. Yes, some players definitely define their roles for next season. Should we make a run at Clay? I don't want Clay. Um, he's really declined defensively, and he's still a 38% 3-point shooter, but he's not like 38% is not Clay, if you know what I mean. Like he's not the same. I feel like he tries to do too much now. No, I think the Magic are gonna try to get him. No, we need Dante on the bench. Clay's washed. He's definitely not the same. They'll make a move with all these picks. Yeah, we have 2 first rounders. Tibbs don't play rookie, so those picks are out of here. That's what I don't like. This is a weaker draft too. Like for context of this draft, I was listening to a podcast. They're saying the first pick isn't even worth Derek White. That's what they're saying about this draft. Even though I like Alex Lar, I think that's a little far fetched. Yeah, we need a true backup point guard. Like we need a real backup point guard. You know who I'm going after? I'm going after Tyus Jones. If I'm the Knicks, sign Tyus Jones ASAP. When it's free agency, Tyus Jones should be at the top of their list. He's a true backup point guard. I'm getting Tyus Jones. But Knicks need a back. Yeah, you could say we need a backup center too, or center in general. Yes, I was just about to comment this. Get a Dennis Schroeder type. Like someone that could run the offense at the right pace. McBride doesn't get into his sets quick enough. He's an off-ball player, and there's nothing wrong with that. And even though McBride really struggled today, I think we should still show love to McBride. Tons of improvement this season. I was saying this dude wasn't able to shoot at all. Like his first couple seasons with us, his shot looked clunky. I thought it looked more smooth. Played some tough defense for us. He struggled this series, but I think McBride still deserves a lot of love for his improvement this season, man. Like I did not think he was gonna be like our last young player remaining. I didn't think he was gonna outlast Grimes. I didn't think he was gonna outlast RJ. Yeah, and I thought that was better. That was a better top heavy draft. Drew, Anthony Edwards, and LaMelo. Yeah, you could still find very quality role players. I agree. But then you can never have enough guys that could shoot and play defense. The Knicks need to attack 3 and D players. You can never have too many of those players. Oh yeah, Deuce I think is gonna even get rotational minutes next year. I think he is. Um, as a backup shooting guard. For his contract, yeah, he's on a steal of a contract. He's on a cheap ass deal. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Last year Knicks made the second round and Indiana missed the playoffs. They lapped us in a single season. Dude, that hurts, man. Dude, this is what fucking hurts, man. This is what hurts about being a Knicks fan. Obviously, Knicks fans that have seen the 90s have probably seen even more heartbreak than me. But you have the Hawks like a few years ago, you know, they don't make it to the playoffs. I know it was like we had a drought as well, but they don't make it to the playoffs. They get out of the first round, get out of the second round. They go to Eastern Conference Finals. We lose in the first round. The Hawks haven't gone out of the first round since then, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pacers don't make the playoffs for like a few years. They go to the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. Like, bro, like, why not us? I just want that feeling. If we get swept, oh fucking well, but I just wanted that feeling of being there. It's like, wow, we were 1 round away of going to the fucking NBA finals. Like, one team was in our way with these injuries. I don't know where those are coming from. He doesn't wanna play for Tibbs. He had that video that he was saying, like, "I woulda sent your ass home too." Like, I don't I think he's either going to the Clippers or the Sixers. They're gonna have to do a three-team trade for Philly though, because I don't see Pat Riley just straight up trading him there. But I could see him staying as well because Pat Riley's just a real dude. That's why I think he said those comments in the post game, or not post game, but this press conference or whatever on Jimmy's comments. But feel he just wants to remain in destination. Pacers caught the Bucks and Knicks, and they did, especially the Bucks. No Giannis and Lillard for some games. Well, Giannis was out the entire series. But yeah, we'll see what happens in this Celtic series. Um, they have no Porzingis for a couple games, so you never know. And they can score. They are a high-powering offense. And Pacers aren't that good of a defensive team. I thought they played decent. Obviously, they played well in the games that mattered. It's all that matters, obviously. But I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with Boston. We'll see. Muhammad says, I witnessed the 90s. I'm 42. I witnessed all the heartbreak. This is nothing right now. Watch that last minute game 7 and 90. I know already. My dad he would tell me all the time. But what do you think needs to change this team, Muhammad? Do you like this team right now? Yeah, they played good D today. Is my voice cracking? Is my mic messing up? Sorry, guys. Pacers might win more regular season games next season, but trust me, they won't get us far in the playoffs, especially if we're there. I'm gonna be so pissed if they're like a Hawks 2.0 and we don't see this team close to the Eastern Conference Finals again. I'm gonna be so pissed if this is like Hawks 2.0 with the Pacers. Oh my gosh, man. Gotta see all this Halliburton shit on social media now. All respect to Randall, but how do we know he's gonna step up in the playoffs? Like, how do we know? Yeah, maybe Tatum will get it going. They still have Brown. They have Horford, that's a veteran. Yeah, they'll be fine. But there was a lot of comments I didn't even get to. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. The players still on this team that were drafted here, Deuce and Mitch, were late first rounders and second rounders. Yeah, they were both second round picks. I think Deuce was what, 33rd, 34th? I forgot what he was, something like that. And no, wait, Mitch, was he a second rounder? I think he was. Yeah, he was. Keep both picks in this draft. Will they play though? You know, Leon loves trading the picks. Try to gotta find a way to get Mikal. I still think we need another piece. This thing is this team. And when you get Randall back, yeah, you add more offense, but you're getting another ball stopper. And I love Randall, but I still believe you need ball movement. The thing is, this team doesn't need another star as long as the big three of Brunson, Randall, and OG are healthy. Well, OG is a big if, like if he's healthy. We've seen what that team could do. Deuce is not a legit point guard. Tyus Jones. Trying to catch up on some comments. I would have banned those Pacers. Oh yeah, I read that already. Losing to anyone sucks. LOL. Obi has to be gassed up right now. Got traded to the team that sent us home. Obi didn't really do much today. We traded him for 2 second rounders. Like he still has a role in the NBA and he's still thriving in a role, or at least being productive. Let me see these comments all the way at the top when I started it. Someone said, "Congrats, Pacers. Best of luck versus Boston. Good season. I bleed orange and blue. Me too. Pacers luck needs to be studied. Let us be healthy. Knicks in 5." Appreciate that, Chippy. Devastating. I can't watch Knicks hoop till October. Well, there's a summer league too. Let's not forget that. Oh no, the Pacers get lucky with the Giannis and Knicks injuries. Injuries or not, they can't control that, but there's gonna be some luck involved when it comes playoff time. Yeah, I still love this team too. Now all the finger pointing will begin. Pacers are one of the highest scoring teams. I think we did a great with a bunch of role players. I'm not disappointed. This team gave more than expected with what we had left. I agree, but we could have been a lot better today. Let's not act like Milwaukee didn't benefit from injury luck in their 2021 run. I'm a Raps fan, and we definitely got lucky against the Warriors. Yeah, exactly. I think every run there's going to be some luck. The healthiest team, like usually the healthiest teams will win. Knicks and Bucks ran out of players. Alec Burks should have played the whole game. Knicks had a great season. Well done. Y'all team played so hard next year conference finals. Much respect, Bubba. Halliburton played great. Yeah, he did. What's going on, Daniel? Next season, no excuse. We have to make the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm right there with you. Do you see anyone going? I think I answered that. There's still issues with perimeter defense. We can't depend on OG to be the all-around defense on the perimeter. And Harnstein wasn't giving us shit defensively in the interior, man. Yeah, there was a stat I wanted to read to you guys. So let me read this to you guys. This was tweeted. The main reason Indiana is leading by 15 at half. The Pacers had the best shooting half in a playoff game in the last 25 years per ESPN, shooting 76% to surpass the Spurs in the first half of Game 3 of the 2014 NBA Finals against the Heat. Let me repeat that. The main I'm not going to repeat it, but freaking they were up 15 and a half, and they shot 76% at half. They're shooting 70%. No team has ever scored 70 points in a Game 7 versus no team has ever scored 70 points in a Game 7 first half on the road until today. The Pacers. 76.3% from the field, highest field goal percentage in any playoff half in the last 25 years. Yeah, Randall chokes. Burks and Bodega are out of here. Mitch should be out of here too. Charlie Brown Jr. Summer League MVP. Nets haven't made a trade with the Knicks since '83. No way we're getting Mikal. Yeah, exactly. It has to be a third team trade. And they value him as like a fucking first option too. Create a shooting. Yeah, let me see. What did they finish shooting? They scored 130 points at Madison Square Garden, man. I don't even want to say what this franchise reminds me of. Guys, the Pacers shot 67% from the field and 54% from three. 67% from the field, 54% from three. We even had way more free throws than them, 27 to their 16. They had 52 points in the paint or 38. We got out rebounded 33 to 28. Way more assists because they trust the pass. They're up as many as 23. We're only up 3. The only time we're up was in the first. Man, we had our chance too. We had a potential comeback on our hands, but we just weren't smart. Again, this team can't inbound a fucking basketball. Can't make good decisions. Brunson, 17 points, 9 assists, 6 of 17, 1 of 3 from 3. OG Anunoby played 5 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. Again, he just wasn't moving well at all. This is what Isaiah Hartenstein gives us in an elimination game. Again, I appreciate what he gave us in the regular season. I appreciate what he gave us for a couple playoff games, but just another terrible game. You can't have 2 shot attempts and play 30 minutes. 8 rebounds. You can say that's on the guard as well, but he had 4 fouls, 0 points, 8 rebounds, 0 of 2 from the field. 2 turnovers. Just trash. Josh Hart, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. DiVincenzo, 39 points, 9 of 15 from 3, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 for 21. Alec Burks gives us 26 points. Precious Achiuwa, trash. He was just garbage. Gave us 4 points. He didn't give us 1 rebound in 28 minutes. Could you believe that? Precious Achiuwa was out there for 28 minutes. He gave us 4 points, 3 fouls, 1 assist, and 0 rebounds. 0 rebounds in 28 minutes is unacceptable. That's a lack of heart right there. 0 rebounds. McBride, 40 minutes. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 14 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. I believe he had a big 3 that would have cut it down to what, 3 or 5 or something crazy like that. Plus minus of minus 19. And he had a stupid turnover. Should have 2. I don't know why it says 1. We're not getting Booker. I don't think Booker wants to play for Tibbs. That's the thing. I don't think we're going to attract these fancy players. I don't think those guys want to play for Tibbs. Like, I don't think Booker wants to. Yeah, Jalen needs to know when to pass. What's your feeling on Tibbs? They're gonna resign him. They're gonna resign him. Knicks Twitter's not gonna like it, but they're gonna resign him. Especially the injuries help his case. He's gonna be like, well, I made it to the second round and no Bogdanovich, no Mitch, no Julius Randle, like all these guys. No OG when he got hurt. Well, no, he was healthy that series, but that Knicks definitely do need another ball handler, and that's not Randle. Randle's not kind of want bringing the ball up the floor. Like, we need a true backup point, like Tyus Jones. Got to get Tyus Jones as a backup. I don't think it's changing anything. The offense looked the same when we had Mike Woodson. Looked the same when we had Mike Woodson, and Mike Woodson was an offensive coach. But some coach needs to be like, no, this needs to change. This isn't working. Like, someone needs to say something though. Like, someone does. I don't know if it's the coaching staff being scared, or they trust Tibbs, or Tibbs is stubborn. I'm not sure. Yeah, Randall, we want to be able to have JB, Booker, OG, and Randall all on the same team. I think one of those guys is definitely gone. But yeah, let me read the full thing. But what are my feelings on Tibbs? So I'll give you my real feelings on Tibbs. He's definitely a great culture guy. He turned around this franchise when it comes to us not being a joke, competing night in, night out. No doubt about it. We improved so much as a team since he got here. Do I think he's the guy that puts you over the top and wins a championship? No. I think his style of play in the playoffs needs work on even both ends. We were injured this time around. He did the best he could this postseason, in my opinion. With all these injuries, but should they re-sign him? Because that's the thing. Who else is an option? Should we resign him or get Jay Wright? Well, Jay Wright's retired from college basketball, so I don't think he's coaching again. Make Johnny Bryant the head coach. I know some Knicks fans want that. I honestly think Tibbs can't get us far. Well, honestly, no coach is getting as far with this roster with these injuries. But I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that right now. I'm not saying he's stubborn. I'm saying maybe he's stubborn. But the reality is, as long as Brunson's here, the offense is going to be run through Brunson. It's going to look different when Randall is back, though. But it's going to be a ball-dominant offense because that's Brunson's strength, playing with the ball. He needs the ball. Ceiling is second round. You saying Tibbs' ceiling is? I love Josh, but dude gets serious tunnel vision and makes bad passes. He's a bench player. That's the reality. But Hart did more than expected and more than he probably should have when it comes to his real role. He played out of character. I'm not going to say played out of character because he was 17 point per game guy. Like, last year at Villanova, and last year we saw what he did in the playoffs. Um, he still hasn't been in his natural role because of injuries for like a couple straight years. Um, but yeah, Hart didn't even have to play today though. He didn't have to play, but maybe you're just saying in general. Hart, yeah, he can get serious tunnel vision to make bad passes. Like sometimes you need to learn how to calm down. Nick Devin Booker could be an option if the Knicks are willing to part with Dante. I don't think they're parting with Dante, Mitch, or Hart. No, as long as Brunson's here, Hart's not going anywhere. Like Hart and Brunson are like a package deal. Um, Mitch, yeah, probably gone. We need more size, shot creation, and a pass first point guard. Definitely more shot creation because if the offense isn't very unpredictable, we at least need someone that's unpredictable with the ball in their hands. It doesn't have to be like Kevin Durant, I'm saying, but we've talked about Mikal Bridges before. He's 6'7", he has length. He's not a number one option like probably some people thought when he was going on that run that one season with the Nets. But he's still someone that's capable of scoring the ball, stretching the floor. He'll get back to playing better defense because I thought his defense kind of dipped off with the Nets. Um, but yeah, Tyus Jones, I think, would be a good pass first point guard to set guys up. He's not going to score a lot, but he scores when he has to. He's an orchestrator. I agree with you, Vaughn. Do you guys think Isaiah Hartenstein lost the bag? How the fuck does an NBA team hit 67% a playoff game? It's ridiculous. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Pacers beat us. What time is it even? At least this game was early, guys. I probably still won't be able to sleep because this sucks, but at least it was early. Get the fuck out the way. Pacers beat us because once we lost OG, no one could guard Siakam. Yep, no one. Like fucking unguardable last few games. I'd even get into the Pacers box score. Um, I didn't even share my screen because I know you guys would throw up on the screen. Pacers beat us because once we lost OG, no one could guard Siakam, and in turn, we lost a ton of rebounding presence as well. Pacers dominated the glass because we didn't have Randall, Mitch, and OG. Yeah, people forget OG only averaged like 5 rebounds per game in the regular season, but when he was healthy and when he was getting it going, like he had like a 3 game stretch or a couple game stretch, he was giving us like 8+ rebounds. And yeah, we know what Mitch does in the offensive glass. Um, I don't think Randall's a good defender. Like he's not consistently locked in on that end, but he is a good rebounder. I'll definitely give him that. No, I'm not comparing us to the Hawks. I'm just saying like when it comes to just a luck thing, saying like, oh, like the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals, we lose in the first round. They haven't even been close to that since then. And like imagine the same thing happens with the Pacers. Siakam wouldn't have cooked Randall like that. Randall does add some physicality. Um, I'm mostly concerned about Joe Mazzulla. If I'm a Celtics fan, I just don't think. Yeah, if they had a Doka, it'd be a different story. I don't believe his philosophy as well. I like this team, but get Precious out of here. Like I mentioned earlier, the roles were defined. DiVincenzo, Hart, those guys are the bench with Deuce and Ihart, Mitch, Randall, JB, and another solid 2. Pacers beat the Bucks and Knicks in first round and will face Boston Eastern Conference Finals, the same path as Miami last season. Someone mentioned on the radio that the Knicks should look at the UConn guys, experienced back-to-back champs, and blind with the Nova Knicks. Well, that's just stupid. Like, why would they make that comparison when DiVincenzo, Hart, and Brunson were already on a team that won championships together? Well, Hart won 1. DiVincenzo and Brunson, I think, won 3 when Brunson was a freshman. Then they won like back-to-back. Maybe it wasn't back-to-back, but I know they won a couple. Why should they look at that when they already had the experience? I don't know. Someone mentioned that. Go get Mikal Bridges. This is just rough, man. But let me read off this box score. Just the efficiency is disgusting, man. How good the Pacers shot, how bad we were defensively, but they hit some tough shots. But this team just falls for pump fakes. This team's so undisciplined defensively in the playoffs. Siakam, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 foul. He was 8 of 15 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Um, Aaron Nesmith, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Was 8 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. Miles Turner, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Andrew Nemhard, like, you're in bad shape. Like, you had a bad defensive game when Andrew Nemhard has 20 points. 20 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 of 2 from 3, 8 of 10 from the field. It wasn't just the perimeter defense, it was the interior defense. Guys are just walking right to the basket. Halliburton, credit to him. I know Knicks fans hate him, call him a front runner. I don't give a fuck. They won this series. They were better than us. I know we weren't healthy, but they were better. They were healthy. We weren't, unfortunately. He had 26 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 of 12 from 3, 10 of 17. They needed him to be aggressive, and he was aggressive. Obi, 3 points. He struggled. Isaiah Jackson gave them energy when he was out there 10 minutes, 9 points. Ben Shepherd, 4. TJ McConnell. He scared me the most, honestly, in this series. He scared me more than Halliburton because I thought he gave them the most momentum. Because, yeah, he would give them like consistent 10 to 15 points, but the assist, 7 assists, just like consistently effortless, going to the basket, finishing, a blur, pull up mid range, baseline, just money. Yeah, Nick sucked, 5-star. He definitely did. Defense was unacceptable. It was just trash. Late rotations. I think we have no choice but to pay Ihart because Mitch is injury prone. Even though Hornstein obviously struggled defensively, who else is our starting center? Like, we're not going to draft a center and Tibbs starts him. I'm not even a hockey fan. I'm not even a big hockey fan. I know they're doing good though. Do they play tonight? Guess I'll follow that. No, they do not play tonight. Yeah, McConnell. Yeah, you just brought it up, Vaughn. We had no answer for him. The only game he struggled is when he was kind of missing point blank shots. I want to say that was in game 4. Or no, was that game 5 that we blew them out? Yeah, it was game 5. Yeah, I know they're really good. I just never followed hockey. Nasri, that's not happening. I don't even know if he's a free agent. Maybe he is, but he just won 6th man of the year. And they're finals contender. He's getting brought back. And you could say he's been better than Rudy Gobert that series. Like, Timberwolves fans want him starting over Rudy Gobert. Honestly, I can't even begin to even try to figure out what we need to do. If we were completely healthy and we lost, then maybe. Yeah, the reality is we were in this position with injuries. It sucks. Do I think we would have been this finals contender with Randall healthy? I don't know. I really don't. But the reality is this is another year that we're in the playoffs not healthy again. Yeah, Booker doesn't play much defense. It's not a Tibbs guy. Booker's a damn near superstar talent. I do think Tibbs likes specific players. That's one of the only things I don't like about Tibbs, how he likes specific players. Do I think Booker's soft? Yes. But it does suck that it looks like Tibbs only focuses on certain players. To be honest, the team was playing well with OG and Randall. We didn't see what they can be with. That's true, especially the Mitchell Robinson part. We didn't see what they can be with Mitchell, and Randall's playing better this year than. I will say that Randall's a lot more downhill and aggressive, and I thought he was a better passer, and his IQ was better. He did look more mature. I thought he did a better job controlling his emotions. But we know playoff time, that's when the pressure kicks in, and we'll never know how he would have been in the playoffs this year with this team, unfortunately. Okay, Willie. Okay. I thought you were saying, no, he's not. I got you. I'm not saying he's the reason why all these injuries occurred, but there's a fatigue factor with the way he runs the team. But again, we had so many injuries. Like, I just don't think this is the year that you could. This isn't the year that you just trash Tibbs. Like, I just don't think it's the postseason. This postseason. I don't think it is. It takes it takes a special resilient group to go to the second round of the playoffs with this type of injured roster. It sucks. You could see that team ran out of gas today, but we were also not smart at the same time. I thought we still could have controlled things. But did Brunson miss a free throw today too? I didn't think we shot that bad from the free throw line. It's like one of the only positives. 130 to 109, guys. Knicks fell behind in this game. You just couldn't do that at home, especially the amount we fell behind by. Like, this was a game like a 13-10, but then it became 16-10, 18-13, 21-16. Pacers go on this run, can't get a stop. Like, we were getting buckets, but they were just making like our shot making was pretty good in the first quarter, but their shot making was just at a whole other level, and our defense sucked. So I was quick to cancel my MSG Plus subscription back to paying in October. Yep. That is something we need more length. We need more athleticism. Dante, he's good at poking the ball away, but I feel like he gambles too much. He does come up with these athletic blocks. He's athletic, but not much length. Josh Hart, not much length. Brunson doesn't have length. OG's our only like starter that has some length. Well, Hartenstein being a 7-footer, of course. Well, I guess you could say our non-healthy roster because yeah, we were small. We're a small team this postseason. Vaughn, nope to what? Sorry, I'm all over the place reading these comments. I moved to Dallas 4 years ago, and I used my sister's Spectrum sign pay her bill. I'm happy with Brunson, but I know Obi's happy. He's from New York. He got traded away. The reality is, Tibbs just didn't like his style of play. Leon Rosen, that's what's stupid. Like Leon Rose and Tibbs were obviously not on the same page when it came to that pick. I think that's unacceptable. I wanted Devin Vassell. Um, he would have fit this team perfectly. But he was like, you can't rebound, you can't play defense. I don't care that you could score a little bit. Like, you don't fit my mold. You're out of here, boy. We're not paying you. By the way, they made you pay $29.99 to watch Rangers, Devils, and Islanders make the money. Well, if you want a website, that's free to watch games. You may be a little delayed. Check out Stream East. That's what I use, so I don't have to pay. There's a part of me, so I'm very sad that the season's over, but then there's also a part of me like, thank God, like who's gonna go down next? Like someone's gonna get like it just felt like, all right, what's next? What's next? So that exhaustion, I'm kind of happy that exhaustion's gone, but I'm still like just so disappointed. I'm not disappointed in like how like I'm just disappointed today, man. Like I don't care. I know like this team just overcame a lot, but this final score just and what happened today is just so frustrating. So I thought the Knicks were better than what we saw today, man. They weren't. Yeah, have you been following the Rangers, Michael? We need a Conley, maybe CP3. CP3 so old, but for someone that could just run the show as a backup point, we definitely needed that. Someone that could just make simple plays. But Mike Conley's been an unbelievable veteran for the Timberwolves. Oh, that's right. I do remember seeing it in your like Instagram bio. Because I remember when you went to the Knicks game, it was in Washington, right? So you're from Washington, I'm guessing, where you live there. Man, I've been live for an hour and 14 minutes. Doesn't even feel like it because I've just been so irritated, man. So pissed. I just think back to that game 3, guys. I think back to that game 3 when Andrew Nemhard hit that ridiculous shot. I think back to that. Man, missed opportunities this series. But yeah, we don't know, like, being injured and not legitimately knowing, like, how far we could have gone is, like, disappointing. Game 3 was a momentum shifter. Yeah, and then we lost game 4 in a blowout. Yeah, and then we responded. I hate saying that, though, that the playoffs are a momentum shifter because you saw us respond with a blowout, and then they blow us out again. Like, each game's different, but you look at the Timberwolves Nuggets series, they're just trading blows. Probably gonna end this soon. I need to eat. I need to take a shower. Oh, gosh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so drained. I haven't really eaten anything. That's the thing. Dante was amazing. I thought Hart played very well. We were up 8 in that fourth quarter. Like, we blew that shit, man. We blew that shit. And if we can fucking box out, we didn't box out for like what three times in a row. Like, but you had two chances to win a game. You had two chances to win one game. You didn't do it. You couldn't do it on your home floor. You couldn't do it on the road. You got blown out two times in a row. You get blown out three times this series, man. Three times. We got killed three times this series. I'm not even going YouTube. I'm afraid to go on anything. Twitter, I know, is just a mess right now, probably. But hey, the Pacers deserved it, man. I know we were banged up and we were injured, but they were the better team. They played like the better team. They did. Hate saying that. I feel sick. Oh, I feel sick, guys. I'm always gonna rep this team no matter what, though. We saw this team win 17 games twice. We're still gonna be with this team no matter what. Yeah, I don't blame you, Knicks ran out of steam. Appreciate you, Evan. Thank you guys so much for the support all season long. I'm gonna have way more videos out. I was just doing live streams because of school, and they're just kind of more fun, honestly. But I'll have off-season content out. I'm gonna have draft content out. If you guys don't know, I'm known for my draft content. Are we gonna pick someone this year and actually play them? I don't know, but I'm probably still gonna waste my time and do it anyway because I think it's fun to do draft videos. Draft videos. Oh, I'm with you, Willie. Those days still sucked. Ron, I'm sure you saw Ron Baker, Kuzminskis. Like, there was a point though, guys, that Langston Galloway was a bright spot in a season. We had a Laxfish Fed. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's what I brought up earlier. Those turnovers, like from Bronson to Deuce, and we can't like Hornstein as well inbounding the basketball, like two straight. Like, well, Hornstein the turnovers. Well, they were both turnovers, but Hornstein inbounded, it was stolen. Looked like he forced it, and Deuce couldn't inbound the ball. Like, why are we such a bad inbounding team again? It goes back to the Chicago game. Like, cut and get fucking open, man. Are their legs just cooked? Yeah, those days sucked, Evan. Clay Anthony early. You know the Knicks were really bad during that time when we signed Chris Smith, J.R. Smith's brother. And I'll never forget that. Man, it sucks because Deuce had two straight great games, but in a different role. Um, Guys, do you think we just shouldn't have played OG, I guess? We just but it was game 7, we just went all out. But you think we should have started McBride the way Burks played off the bench and McBride was playing well as a starter? We should have started him? I don't know. It probably wouldn't have changed things. Hartenstein still played like shit. Brunson still struggled to score. Um, that's awful, Mohammed. I'm sorry to hear that. Charles Smith pulling. Yeah, and I saw what we were 5-3 at home, like in game sevens. But like 2 of those losses were to the Pacers or something, or one at least. Yeah, what year was that? 95? Because we went to the finals in what, 94 and lost the Rockets? I didn't see it, obviously. I was born in '04. I thought he should have. He was literally like our go-to offense at one point. Like he was carrying our offense. He was our leading. No, Dante was. He was our second leading scorer, I believe. That's insane. Like the guy we were crapping on in the regular season turned out to be like one of our most valuable players in the playoffs. And I was saying, don't bring this guy back. To like we're probably gonna bring him back. 95, okay, yeah. That Rockets game doesn't still hurt. It doesn't affect like how this season ended. But that game sucked, yeah. Ewing finger roll miss versus Pacers, yeah. 90%. Well, I will say the Pacers, they had one injury. It was kind of big. Benedict Matherin's a pretty important player to that team. But there's no comparison, man. Like Mitch, our backup center, you could say our best rim protector when healthy this playoffs because Hornstein wasn't cutting it. Um, OG gets hurt. I think what game 2? No Bogdanovich. No Randall. It's not even a comparison. Oh wait, I know what you're trying to say, Mohammed. My mind, I'm so fucking defeated. I know what you're saying. You said someone mentioned on Twitter that a 98% healthy Indy team being 90%. Okay, never mind. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Michael Jordan ruined a lot of players' hopes of winning a championship. Charles Barkley, Ewing, yeah, Reggie. Did you see the Bagley tweet? Bronson was asked if he thinks this season was a success given what the Knicks have gone through and where they finished. No. As a true leader, this team seems upset. They should be upset, man. We were up 2-0. Game 7, you're at home. You have a chance to seal it and go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 1999. And we didn't do it. We didn't play good. You should be pissed off. Everyone on this team should be pissed off, man. You play to win the game. You don't play for the stats. You play to win the fucking game. It doesn't matter about how much. And the Knicks didn't do that. They got waxed again for the 3rd time this series. They're a better team on the boards. They're the better offensive team. They stepped up defensively when it mattered. They held Brunson under 20. They're the better team, with us injured or not. And now I can finally shave this beard off, guys. I was growing the beard out for the playoffs. Just growing it out for the playoffs. It's gonna be gone. Oh my gosh. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. As soon as I started it, there was a good amount of people in here. So much love to all of y'all. You go into the Yankee. I don't even have a baseball team, honestly. I don't have a baseball team. I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not a Mets fan. I don't really have a team. But, oh yeah, you can't wear the beard if you play for the Yankees. But guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate the support all season long. Might have a video out tomorrow. Sucky way to end the season. Fun season, but a sucky way for it to end. Love y'all. Well, we gotta play better defense then, man. Because if you're not playing defense, you need to give your team as many second chance opportunities as possible. And Knicks didn't do that. Okay, let me know down below your thoughts if you're watching this replay. Knicks lose with a low 2-0 lead. We lose in 7 games with the Indiana Pacers that are heading to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on the Celtics. And we can't get through this Pacers team. We fell short 2012-13, I believe, in 6 games. Melo got blocked. This time around, we're killed with injuries and terrible defense as Pacers keep us at home. Well, guys, life goes on. Be well. Talk again when the rumors start about who we get. Yup, we know there's going to be rumors. Talk later. Be good, chat, and then we'll go eat and take a shower. Appreciate that, man. Michael, I'm sorry you're just tuning in now. I'm about to head out. Been live for like an hour, 30 minutes. You can always catch the replay. I'll probably be live again soon. Talk about more. I'm sure there's going to be tons of rumors. Much love to everyone in the chat. Michael, Willie, Nick's ran out of steam, Evan, everyone that tuned in. Peace out, guys. Go Knicks. Well, I'll read this. How do you think Stephen A. Smith's going to react to this loss? I'm not watching that shit. I'm not watching that shit. Have a good one, guys. Let's go Knicks no matter what.